Hey, hi, hello again. It's me, Amy the Baker, back with another video. Buttons is in the background meowing a million times. Hi, sweet boy. Today I'm making chocolate crinkles because I've been craving chocolate. When am I not craving chocolate? I got Oreo Cakesters and they're very similar to Swiss rolls minus the little chocolate coating. So it made me crave soft, chocolatey, delicious cookies. And I might have to attempt to make a Swiss roll, which I've never done, but could be fun. Leon is asleep already. I actually wanted to do this with him, but then this morning, what am I saying? My whole days are busy. In this morning's chaos, I got a little carried away weeding the garden. I went out to water and I was just gonna weed around this one bush, and then I just got carried away and weeded so much it filled an entire yard waste bag. Good, I guess, that I weeded a bunch, but it means I had like an hour less time before he napped than I intended. So that was a little bit frustrating, but it was my own fault. I need sugar. Okay, I'll go over the recipe before I get started.
1 cup of cocoa, 2 cups of white sugar, half a cup of vegetable oil, 4 eggs, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and then a teaspoon of vanilla and...
The original recipe also had espresso powder, but I've never made it with espresso powder because I don't have any. And I've looked for it in the store here, and I don't know if I'm just dumb or if they don't have it or what. But anyways, it's good without.
And then there's also a half a cup of icing sugar that you roll the cookies in.
But the recipe I rattled off is what you need for the dough. After I'm done filming this video, I'm going straight into making dinner because I want to be able to just pop it in the oven later with these cookies and the garlic bread for dinner. Not all at the same time, but like around the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Anyways,
doing that because today's Friday, and as we know, well, as I know, Fridays, my friends come over. Well, my friend and his daughter. She's my friend too, but more so my niece. They come over for dinner and hang out. And I was thinking we could go to the park because it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. And the one park in town has a water park. The kiddos would love that. And I'm sure I wouldn't mind beating the heat a little bit because it has been crazy warm lately. And then yesterday there was thunderstorms.
oh my goodness, yeah, it's been crazy.
So I've been seeing Miss Rachel talk about what's happening in Gaza and the backlash she's been facing for that, and still standing steadfast in her beliefs and convictions. Children shouldn't be being targeted in the name of killing terrorists. And I saw this morning a video and she's just talking about it again, and then she said, the more people that speak out, the more normal it becomes. The majority of us know that what is happening is wrong, but either are too busy to care or too uninformed to understand the extent of what is happening. And that's not me. I have been informed since the beginning. I don't seek out graphic videos because I know what that would do to my personal mental health. And maybe that's selfish of me. Some people would argue that it is, but you know, that made it worse. But I do think it's important to talk about it and to call it what it is, a genocide. At this point, full-blown ethnic cleansing is happening. That was always Israel's intention. They want the land, they want the resources, they want the brown people to be gone. And it's so disheartening to see so many people on the side of killing children because they claim they're terrorists. There's Justin. Got mildly interrupted and lost my train of thought. A part of me, a huge part of me, about this whole situation feels so guilty because I have been informed. I've never donated. I might have posted at the beginning, but I don't consistently post. I repost on TikTok, but like, what good does that do, right? It's echo chambers and algorithms. And it's been hard for me to bring it up here because this is a lighthearted channel where I want people to be able to escape and just catch up with a regular person. Oh my gosh, I got interrupted again and had a bit of a hard conversation. So now my brain is completely frazzled. I guess all I can add is if you aren't informed about what is happening, I urge you to inform yourself. And if you are, like me, you haven't done a good job about speaking up. I talk to people in my real life about it because it's something that deeply distresses me that's going on in the world, because there's the human impact, the environmental impact, the fact that yes, it's across the world for now. We're slowly marching towards everyone being affected greatly. More than COVID affected everyone kind of thing. It's bad. It's really bad. And it shouldn't take us personally being affected to speak up about it. And right now, most of us are not being personally affected by it, particularly if you are not informed. I don't know what kind of argument that anyone can have in their mind to justify what is happening. And part of me wishes I could live 100 years from now and see the way that history books cover all of the silent genocides that have been happening, because it's not just Palestine. Palestine is just the most visible example, but I mean, you look at what's going on in the Congo, the Uyghur Muslims in China being put in concentration camps, and it's like, we need to first of all separate the Palestinian people from terrorists. We need to separate Israeli people from what the government is doing, because there is a growing Israeli population that are speaking out against what is happening, because it's wrong. Objectively, there's nothing to say. It's wrong. We need to separate the people from the power. Once we understand that the power structure and the people are separate entities, that's the first step in fighting back. It's hard to...
Sorry, I'm still sick. My voice is going.
It's really hard for me as well, because I know that I have strong moral convictions, and if more people thought the way that I thought, not in the sense of like everyone should know the things that I know, just in the sense of I am very open-minded. I can hold strong opinions loosely. I can hold a strong opinion about something, and if I'm presented with new groundbreaking information, I can change that opinion and hold the fact that I was wrong about something. I am okay being wrong about things. I am happy to say that I am wrong about things. More people need to be this way. More people need to be educated in human psychology and philosophy, and not just in the woo-woo ways or in the I'm smarter than you ways, because that completely contradicts my whole frame of thought. But I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just so overwhelmed. If more people had the open-minded nature that I have, there would be less problems. And that's not to say I'm smarter or better than anybody, because I'm not. We're all humans. I am just very empathetic, and I have been as long as I can remember. I've felt other people's emotions and other people's pain and fear and sadness. It's a heavy burden to bear, but it is an important one. I'm getting overwhelmed. I recognize I live a very privileged life. I also recognize that everyone deserves to live the life that I'm living in their own way. Everyone deserves to be free. Everyone deserves to be fed. Everyone deserves to make stupid little YouTube videos if their heart so desires. I just wish we lived in a world where community mattered more than power. Because most of these people who have power and money, they have more power and money than they know what to do with. And they just treat us like puppets, and they're the puppet masters, when in reality, they're going to die too. We all are. So why are we rushing the death of children who had their whole lives ahead of them? There are entire families that are gone. Entire lineages, culture, heritage, gone. And it's not fair. Oh my gosh, sorry. This dough has to sit in the fridge for like 4 hours, because as you can see, it's less of a dough and more of a batter at this point, a thick batter. It's kind of like brownie batter, honestly. I'm sure if you baked it now, like if you put it in a pan and baked it now, it would actually make some pretty good brownies. Maybe I'll have to try that one day. So I'm gonna get this in the fridge. My friends will most likely be here when I have to scoop this, so I won't be back for that part, but I'll still come back for a taste test. I will try to be a little bit more lighthearted in that. I'm super messy. I gotta clean all this up, but don't you worry, don't you fret. This video is not over yet. I, Amy the Baker, will be back for a taste test right now. I'm back, and I have a cookie. I was just filming thumbnail faces, because I always do that at the beginning of the video, and it felt super weird. Like, what sort of face do I even make for a video where I talk about such heavy things? It is weird. It feels weird. Also, I'm outside, if you didn't notice, so there's definitely going to be some background noise. We live next to some busy streets, but for a different sort of video, I figured we could have a different sort of vibe for the end taste test. So here we are. Cookie, let's take a bite. They're so good. Also, it's Tuesday. I'm only halfway done editing the footage, so it's gonna be a long night for me, but that's okay. But where I was going with that, these are now 4 days old, and they're still delicious. I also brought milk. It's kind of hard to know what to say here. I will add an apology for kind of how all over the place my opinions and stuff were. I was still a little sick and a little woo-woo in the head, but also the whole topic of it just overwhelms me so much that it's hard to even process or think about. I think that's part of the reason why more people just don't think about it. But for me, after I know something's going on, I can't put the blindfold back on. Not that I would want to, because these people deserve peace. A few videos back, I talked about the gazebo that I got, so this is it. I haven't really utilized it yet, but we don't have the best furniture out here for just lounging, especially because I'm pregnant and just generally uncomfortable. I guess I'm just kind of sad about the whole situation, and I don't really know what to say because I don't want to end on a super heavy note, but it is a super heavy topic. Ultimately, it's all of our burden to carry to help these people in whatever ways we can, even if that is just speaking. I don't know. I definitely don't have the answers. I'm just some dumb baker. It is kind of crazy living in this time period. Silent recessions, silent genocides, just silence. The world is full of noise, and yet there's a deafening silence on the issues that actually matter, which is part of the point, I suppose. Keep everyone distracted. At least I have cookies. I do think about how privileged I am a lot, even just in a small thing like a cookie. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's all just weird. And I know life is supposed to be weird in the sense of we are the universe observing itself, but I don't think it was ever supposed to be like this. Chaos isn't dictated by what things are supposed to be. Nothing is supposed to be anything. Things just are. Stupid. Last bite. Well, that's going to conclude the rant and ramble session at the end of the video here. If you made it this far, here's your gold star. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below about what you thought of this sort of different video topic. I will probably try to keep things lighthearted and all of that, just in general, but I don't know, I just felt the need to be a voice in this, and so here we are today. Subscribe if you haven't done that already, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace. No one wants to see that.